A convicted killer who faced the possibility of life in prison tonight is preparing to go to the Texas Department of Corrections to begin serving a 75-year sentence. A jury decided on the punishment this afternoon in the murder trial of 32-year-old Kelvin Lee Roy. He could have received 5 years to life and up to a $10,000 fine. He left court with the 75-year sentence and no fine. The murder conviction stems from a crash February 7th on Old Highway 90 in Vidor. Lexi Bertrand and her mother were in a minivan, stopped at a red light on their way to get a Valentine's gift for a boy Lexi liked. Roy deliberately raced into the van in an effort to hurt his girlfriend who was in the car with him. She survived. The 16-year-old girl died 1 day later. The trial wrapped up this afternoon. KFDM's Haley Bull was in the court throughout the trial and joins us in the studio with details. Haley?
Kelly, when the sentence was read, Kelvin Roy briefly closed his eyes, gave a small shake of his head, and looked away. The defense argued for leniency, asking for a 20-year sentence, while prosecutors wanted the maximum punishment, a life sentence. The jurors ultimately chose 75 years after what the judge called an emotionally draining trial over a crash and loss of a young life that has impacted the entire community.
It's a loss no words can truly describe. A daughter, a sister, a friend, 16-year-old Lexi Bertrand.
While there will always be holes in our heart and a void in our lives, we feel that justice has been served.
A loss Lexi Bertrand's mother, April, put into words for jurors and her daughter's killer today, describing the holidays, birthdays, and milestones she and her daughter will never see. April said, quote, "For the beautiful light and presence of good that she brought everyone she encountered. As a mother, I will never overcome the loss of my firstborn and only daughter."
The things that she did in her 16 years, we learned, will impact some others in their lives. As an organ donor, her choice to donate her organs has saved at least 4 people and given them another chance at life, a chance that Lexi didn't have.
A chance taken away after Kelvin Lee Roy drank, smoked marijuana, took PCP, got behind the wheel, and crashed a car into the Bertrand's minivan in an attempt to seriously injure his girlfriend.
I mean, there are so many, people that could have been tragically affected, killed, by this defendant and the actions that he took that evening.
Prosecutors argued for a life sentence, the maximum possible for a murder charge, citing Roy's lengthy criminal history, including assault and drug use. Roy's attorney argued for a 20-year sentence, the maximum possible for a manslaughter charge.
We believe that he was so intoxicated and impaired that he did not know what he was doing and that he had passed out before the wreck.
Roy's family took the stand, describing Roy's poor decisions. His sister, who raised him, told jurors, quote, "It was a selfish act to do it. He's wrong and he deserves to be punished for what he did. Then at the same time, forgive him."
He was obviously disappointed that it was a murder conviction, probably because he believes in his heart that he never intentionally tried to hurt anyone. So he was disappointed.
The jury convicted Roy of murder, and the judge sentenced him to 75 years in prison for the loss of a teen described as a bright and shining spirit.
These people are still dealing with the aftermath of what he did. Not just Lexi's family, but the entire community as well.
We cannot thank everyone enough for all of their support, emotionally, materially, and spiritually. We are truly blessed to live in such a wonderful community.
Roy's attorney says he believes his client will appeal, but that could change. He would be eligible for parole after serving 30 years of his sentence. Reporting live in the studio, Haley Bull, KFDM 6 News.
Haley, thank you. We received a lot of comments on our Facebook page about this story. Here are a few of them. One person wrote, quote, "The death penalty would have been better for taking that little girl's life." And this one from someone else, quote, 75 years isn't near enough, but it's certainly better than 20. Another person says, quote, "Seems like a fair sentence to me. Think before you act, people." This viewer wrote, quote, "He should have gotten life in prison. He took a life, no parole." The last one says, quote, "What matters most is he is off the street where another family doesn't have to live through this again. No amount of time changes what he did, but it's better than what he could have been."